Bruce Wayne may appear to be a wealthy playboy, but beneath this facade, his true identity is that of the Batman, waging an endless war against crime. Join the Caped Crusader in Batman The Audio Adventures, the first scripted audio original featuring Batman and his villainous rogues gallery in a world premiere story of life and death in Gotham City, debuting exclusively on HBO Max. This rollicking adventure, told across 10 episodes, is written and directed by Emmy winner Dennis McNicholas, includes devilishly delightful original music by Doug Bossy, and performances by Rosario Dawson, John Leguizamo, Chris Parnell, Melissa Villaseñor, Seth Meyers, Jason Sudeikis, Brooke Shields, Fred Armisen, and many, many more. Go to hbomax.com/Batman Audio Adventures for more and stream Batman, The Audio Adventures only on HBO Max. Welcome to Countdown to Infinity, a Marvel's Avengers podcast. We talk all things Marvel Cinematic Universe. And this is a very special episode because we're in a very special series, a Spider-Man series. Okay. Testy. We're recording in the studio, I think, for the first time in like years, maybe.
Three
years?
3/4.
4 or 5 years.
Oh my gosh. But in anticipation to the newest Spider-Man movie in the MCU, Spider-Man No Way Home, we are going through all of the people who have played Spider-Man in live action. So it's a pretty short series because it's only Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, and we're smack dab in the middle because we're talking about Andrew Garfield today for this ep. My name's Manuel.
My name is Lex.
And I'm Josh.
And we're the Spider people.
Spider-Man.
Great. Good sync. Good sync,
Close.
everyone.
We were close.
I got the wrong script.
We're recording this kind of out of order. So everyone's listening to this. This is the second episode of this special Spider-Man series, but we're recording this first, Lex. This is our first Spider-Man.
First episode.
What was the name, the title? You just came up with it minutes ago.
You see, I forgot. No, just kidding. It's a countdown to Spider-Verse.
Yeah. And apparently, so there are people who have seen No Way Home already, and it seems like it is critical that you've seen the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movies.
Every single movie.
I haven't read that.
Well, it makes sense because, I mean, there are direct characters.
Manny wrote the article.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Manny wrote it.
If
for
you're
the
on
Onion.
If you're on Reddit or The Onion, I'm
the
a
Onion
writer.
UK, Manny writes for.
Yeah. Do they even have onions in the United Kingdom?
Probably not.
They're banned.
So, well, I don't know if they're banned, but I mean, like some people look at a potato and they're like, "What is this?" Isn't that true?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know about potatoes.
We're
I don't know nothing about no potatoes.
Lex has never eaten a potato in his life.
Never.
If he sees a potato, he doesn't even know what it is.
Exactly.
Well, Lex, we've been going through all of these Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I guess we've talked about it a little bit on our first episode, but
Yeah.
how has Spider-Man fit into your life, at least in the movie form?
Saved me.
He saved my life. I stayed off
You were the little boy on the subway.
Yeah, I stayed off the streets.
You promised not to tell the identity of Peter Parker. I remember that.
Well, I grew up with Spider-Man being one of my favorite heroes, and this was at a time where I didn't know nothing about comic books, and so growing up, there was no MCU or nothing like that, right? So, as a matter of fact, like superhero movies were kind of like low, typically low budget or not as regarded as they are now by Hollywood. But Spider-Man always stuck out because people talk about it today and it's like he's relatable, right? But at the same time, like for a kid growing up, like it's just so approachable and you don't even think about it, but like I know Stan Lee spoke about this, like no one wants someone with spiders, but I didn't even think of the spider element of it, even though I was super scared of spiders as a kid. But just seeing the superhero embody
The man element.
and the man put the man in the spider.
Wait, so you didn't even see the spider part of Spider-Man? So
No,
you're
no,
going
no.
in watching a man movie.
No.
I
What
just loved photography. And
no. What I'm saying is like as a kid, I didn't like spiders, but like I wasn't even thinking about that when seeing a
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
spiders
You
didn't
know what I'm
deter
saying?
you.
Yes.
I mean, and it's kind
That's
of
pretty significant.
it's kind of apt that we're talking about Andrew Garfield because I think in terms of the angst of being his age, even though I feel like most of the time he's not a high schooler in his movies, at least. Like this has a lot of that angst. His two movies. But Josh, what were you're a big Spidey fan? I notice your tramp stamp that says slinger, Spidey slinger.
sling up in here.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. I've got to say he's definitely like one of my favorites. He was one of the more popular. Like in our childhood, Iron Man wasn't popular. You think about you think about the Avengers and like that wasn't the thing. It was actually like the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and all that. So I think growing up, Spider-Man and Wolverine were definitely like my top two.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man specifically, you know, I wasn't scared of spiders like Lex.
I don't know why you even brought that up. Like, it's kind of weird.
I was going somewhere with it, and it kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I think so.
Y'all just
did
made
you
fun
see
of me.
Black Widow? Because
No.
there's also no spiders.
Since
in
it was
that.
a woman
not.
playing that one, he saw the spiders in
okay.
it.
Yeah.
No.
You just
I
okay.
was terrified.
But yeah, as a kid, they made the joke in like Civil War, like Underoos, like that was targeted towards us. You know, that kind of marketing and stuff came out when we were young. That was like our thing, like the capes and the underwear with Spider-Man and symbols on them.
What's happening? You're now describing your underwear.
No, I don't wear underwear.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish there was a superhero based on skid marks because that'd be my
Captain Underpants.
There we go. That's mine.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking specifically about Andrew Garfield, and he was starred in two Spider-Man movies. We're going to talk a little bit about how that came to fruition, but it was Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was
2,
like,
right?
why are you taking out the "the"?
Well, I mean, obviously for us, because we're kind of similar in age. I'm 13.
All right.
Okay.
And you're both
I am-
67.
I am not a day over 60.
Delete me from this conversation.
But we obviously were introduced to live action Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you feel? I guess either of you. How did you feel learning that there would be a new Spider-Man, an amazing one, and it would not be Tobey
Or amazing.
Oh,
just
wow.
kidding. No. I definitely was excited for the news. Anytime, nerds, geeks, whatever like us, get news like that a new movie's coming out targeted towards us, how can you not be excited?
Yeah.
Of course, after you see the movie, it's different, but yeah, I definitely, after Sam Raimi, Spider-Verse, the third movie, left a bad taste in your mouth. You're kind of wanting a redemption, a second story.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because there was a fourth movie planned. There was no plan to end the Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy, but it sounds like Sam Raimi was kind of just fed up of the big budget studio filmmaking and the fact that they were trying to make it as fast as possible. It was, here's the release date for Spider-Man 4. And he was like, that's soon. And I don't want to be rushed into it. And so the Spider-Man 4 kind of fell apart. And, I mean, it's not like people wait forever to redo things now. It's, it's only like 4 years between that and, the Amazing Spider-Man. But Lex, how did you feel about the recasting of Spider-Man and really just kind of the new direction, especially with, a new director like Marc Webb?
Yeah. I was really excited. I mean,
Webb.
y'all didn't know that?
Wait, you wouldn't know because you'd be too scared to even hear Marc Webb.
He didn't even think about the webs when he heard of the director.
You got to go to a psychiatrist because if you're scared of something, you don't think about it.
Like he had to bring it up.
All I was saying, I'm not even going to explain myself.
I'm sorry.
But
sorry. We don't
you guys are phobia shaping.
Sorry.
But no. I mean, did y'all could you just fucking reach your hand and touch a spider and shit like as a kid?
No, but
Oh.
I didn't have to do that to watch Spider-Man.
No, that's not what I was saying. Y'all don't understand me. Y'all are misunderstanding my what I'm saying. Just like the Amazing Spider-Man was misunderstood.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
So no,
Brought it back around.
what I was gonna say is like I was actually really excited because yes, Spider-Man 4 was happening. Actually, as a matter of fact, growing up, I didn't even know that there was a plan to cancel because we weren't on social media. Like there wasn't like the leak movement. That
Countdown to
there is
Infinity
now,
was
right?
not yet released.
Exactly. So
We
like,
were just a small public access show.
like,
The
At that
sitting
age-
room was releasing episodes.
Yes,
on,
that was-
what is KLRN?
Yes, we were on PBS.
oh my god. Well, like I mean, no one at the time was really like reporting on these movies the way that they are now. Like, oh, there's like a big leak,
Yeah.
or like, oh, these are the plans of the movies, right? So I didn't even know Spider-Man 4 was happening, right? But it had been 5 years already, and so then once again, the new movie comes out, the casting, all that stuff. I was looking forward to it because I had seen, at that time, I had already seen The Social Network, and Andrew Garfield's in that. And I thought
No spiders inside in that movie.
no
You
spiders.
see,
in that movie.
I have a social media phobia, so I
So-
couldn't watch Social Network.
Actually, and you're probably the if you have a social media phobia, Josh, you're probably the mentally healthy one of everyone in this room.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I was just excited. He was like a good actor. He still is, and it's just the news comes out and it's like, okay, that's exciting. Let me see. Then you see Marc Webb as a director, and first of all, I think of his last name is like, oh, that's kind of perfect. Then I mean,
Kind of scary, but still.
his
But I'm
body.
not going to think on
I mean, his body of work and stuff
Got
like
two
that. I
Bs.
mean, it's pretty solid.
500 Days of Summer.
500 Days of Summer, and
Oh.
then they bring in Emma
Yeah,
Stone
top
as
10.
Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And I was just excited for that dynamic. Like no more, like at that time, no Mary Jane plans. And I was interested. I thought this would be a fresh take. You then see the first images of the suit, and it's so different from what you have with Tobey. So I don't know. I was excited for like a new take altogether. And the lizard, like a character in Sam Raimi's like age, the effects weren't up to par, right? At
Yeah, that was
time to
definitely one of
handle-
like the bigger complaints. Is like Manny said, it started out as a low budget, just like like Ghost Rider. The movies that we had from Marvel before were not big box office. Like they weren't planned to be like big hitters.
Yeah.
So yeah, the effects in like Spider-Man are like subpar.
So
The
it just
CGI of the buildings is like garbage.
no, I wouldn't say
He
Spider-Man-
does like longhorns.
Sam
Like, dude, get the
Raimi's
fuck outta
Sam
here.
Raimi's Spider-Man 2 handles very
That's
well.
for
I'm not
Manny.
going to talk about that one right now, but I guess what I was trying to say is like that fresh take combined with the new technology, right? Like
Yeah.
the movie industry moves a lot in that 5-year time, right? So I was just excited. I think it had a lot of elements that could have made it a whole new trilogy. Of course, that's not what we got, but overall, I was super stoked.
Yeah.
What trilogy? Yeah, we didn't get a trilogy.
Yeah.
for-
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Why were you looking at me like that?
Well, because I don't know.
You were fact checking me. You were about to Google the Googles.
This is what's different about this series of Countdown to Infinity. There's a lot of fights. It's very contentious.
There's beef.
There's a lot of beef. It's off camera, off screen.
We can't stand each other.
Me
We're
and
actually,
Lex were actually arguing about this on the way here.
yeah,
Ugh.
we're facing different directions right now as we're recording. Like we're in the same room, but we're not looking at each other.
And my middle finger has been up the whole time. The past 10 minutes, my middle finger's been up. I've been flicking the bird to Lex. Yeah, it's an incredibly, for me, one of the most intriguing parts was the addition of Marc Webb, because Sam Raimi's a super, a really talented filmmaker with he splashed onto the screen with Evil Dead.
A lot of indie stuff.
A lot of
like,
indie stuff. He's a pop guy. He's a horror. He's a genre guy. He knows kind of what the limits are to realism and making things kind of surreal at some moments. I mean, you gotta remember the piano bar scene with goth Tobey Maguire. Like, that's classic Sam Raimi balancing the comedy of moments and character with something super melodramatic. I mean, remember when On May blows up or whatever? I mean, that's the kind of thing that Sam Raimi does. And Marc Webb is this is his second movie after 500 Days of Summer. Did a lot of like music videos. a lot of like craft goodwill, and I think he was really focused on the Peter Parker aspect of Spider-Man, and we did get a lot of that in these movies. So let's talk a little bit about the movies. We'll talk about both of them together, but Amazing Spider-Man, which came out in 2012. Oh, cool. And Amazing Spider-Man 2, which came out in 2014. Wow, on the money.
Am I right?
Yes, you're right. You're correct. I mean, Andrew Garfield obviously recast as Spider-Man, but Emma Stone we've already talked about as Gwen Stacy. Dennis Leary plays her father in the first one.
Yeah.
If we're talking just about the first movie first, we've got a really cool body horror thing going on with the lizard, and I don't want to say his name incorrectly, but Reese.
Yeah, it's Reese.
Evans.
Evans.
What did y'all think about the first, the Amazing Spider-Man?
Josh
I liked,
is gonna be unfair.
I liked the first one.
Just kidding.
At least
That's all I'm gonna say.
at least some.
Yeah.
We could talk about the second film in a minute, but the first one was like that fresh Spider-Man. It was an introduction to something new for us, like we've been saying, and like Lex pointed out, like the effects, the CGI, everything was better.
Lizard was scary.
And I was always scared of a lizard as a kid.
Oh, so you didn't think about it?
No, but and it's a new villain. We saw a few villains in Sam Raimi, so it's not only a new Spider-Man, but a new love interest, a new villain, a new story. Everything. It wasn't like the Batman reboots that we've had since the 80s or whatever.
Gotta get that Joker in.
Yeah, it's we got something new, something fresh, and I appreciated that for sure.
I really liked the first movie. Actually, I recently rewatched it, and a lot of the stuff held true to like what I liked and what I enjoyed. Some of it aged well, in my opinion, just because I guess there, to an extent, there is like an MCU fatigue, like as far as like the formula that they do. But recently, they've been shaking it up to their credit, so we have, I think, a better quality of MCU movies. But if you compare that, because I think the Amazing Spider-Man came out and the MCU was up and running already, right?
Yeah,
So,
Iron Man
like,
had
already
been
come
4
out.
years or something like that.
So this is the same year that Avengers comes out, right?
Yeah.
So at that point there was no fatigue, right? So it was just a different take altogether. But just looking back, I think it aged very well. The cast is very well put together, and I think the villain was compelling, right? The lizard, like they planted the seed early on as far as his motive. Oscorp was, of course, like this underlying thing, as well as the mystery behind Peter Parker's parents, which, thinking about it, like the Sam Raimi trilogy had never mentioned, like they never even brought up their parents. Or Peter Parker's parents, which is interesting. Yeah. So from the get-go, once again, like Josh said, almost every single element of it was different. They tried not to recycle things. And
although we do see Uncle Ben die again.
Well, yeah.
That was the best part.
Oh, God.
Poor Uncle Ben.
Poor Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen, I loved it.
And Sally Fields, who plays... she hated these two movies. She hated them. Yeah. She talks about them now. Like, she was like, these are... not good.
Fucking shit.
I think the only two similarities we have is like a Green Goblin, but was like a different origin.
Well, that's the same. Yeah.
And Uncle Ben dying.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's about it. But honestly,
no wrestling scene though. That was disappointing.
Bonesaw is ready.
They had some like.
Yes, he does have like. Yeah, he has that luchador moment.
But okay. So to that point, almost building to that. I think one of the elements that I really liked about this movie, aside from the things that I said, it's just well put together cast. Apparently, Sally Field didn't want to be there, but
she was well put together.
She was well put together,
and we got a younger Aunt May, and they just keep on getting younger.
Okay.
Stay the same age, right?
You're gonna get
all right.
I didn't mind Sally Field.
Josh is looking forward to the next
Sally Field, that gilf, the next Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh.
No, but
Sally Field, the original gilf on May.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Y'all are wild. I really like the aspect of Ben Parker dies, right? And like for a good portion of the movie after that, Spider-Man was hunting this one person and
Mhm.
a person that looked like them. If you guys recalled, like he knew the description, he was looking for people, and he beat up a bunch of people just because of that. He was saving some people, but that was his motive. And the movie, the way it's set up, it brings that up, right?
Yeah.
Like
It kind of revolves
Dennis-
around that trauma.
yeah, like Dennis Leary like brings it up in his character saying like this guy's a vigilante, but he's not trying to help people. He goes after the people that look the same, so he has a personal vendetta.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I really like that. Like from a Spider-Man standpoint, I think it kind of played with that of like, okay, what truly makes you a hero, and it takes you in that path. And I think it did it in a different way than what the Sam Raimi trilogy did as far as also defining what a hero should be, right? But yeah, overall this movie, I think it was really good. I think this movie, the reason they approved a sequel like shortly after was because it was well received. I think my one like butt of the movie
Your
was
one
like
butt.
I the suit was not my favorite in the first movie. I particularly love, like, I think my favorite Spider-Man suit has to be from the second movie, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Ooh, which we'll talk about here in a bit.
Yeah, we're leading up to that. But yeah, the suit was the only thing, but I like how it was grounded. I just don't like how his lenses were like yellowish.
Yeah.
Like that's my only comment I wanted to make.
Yeah, this is, I think you brought up Grounded. This is the most emotional Spider-Man movie. And it is, you're right. Like, it all kind of stems from his uncle's death, which is something that happens in Tobey Maguire's movies and
Yeah.
Sam Raimi's, but it really becomes something else and about the symbolism of Spider-Man in that film. But yeah, I think it's really interesting to have such a personal take on him, and I think that, you know, casting Andrew Garfield plays into that because he's a very internal actor.
Yeah.
You know, he tread the boards on the Great White Way of Broadway and won a Tony. Like, he's a very actor-y actor.
Yeah.
There's like, he writes a letter in character, you know, on the day one of shoot, and then he writes the last letter in character on the last day of shoot. Like, it's a very,
Uncle Ben died today. Dear Diary.
I know.
Uncle Ben died
but I mean,
today.
like, you know, I think in
That's
terms
really
of acting,
I didn't know that.
he's incredibly serious, and he takes the craft really seriously. And I think that you see that in the movie, and I brought up it. You know, the second one might be even more angsty, but like kind of feeling like you can't control what's happening to you, like all of us teens feel at that time.
Yeah.
But I think that really came across. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was jarring for people who just saw the Tobey Maguire films, which are very pop and very
Yeah.
out there and very broad and funny, and one-liners are happening, and you
Pizza
know,
time.
yeah, it's a crazy movie if you're thinking about it. And then you come to this,
Rent's
and
due.
there's like scenes where Andrew Garfield's just getting frustrated and breaking stuff, and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
Big
What's
Kylo
that?
Ren vibes.
big Kylo Ren vibes. But the movie did well enough, and you're right. I think the MCU did have an effect on this film because Sony, and now we know because of the Sony email leaks, they were trying to build a giant universe even back then. And
Yeah.
we'll talk about the Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's like after credits energy in
Yeah.
in these movies that make you feel like they're trying really hard to compete with the MCU and make all of everything just, you know, bigger and more important. But let's talk about Amazing Spider-Man 2 coming out in 2014, same
Yeah.
cast, same
Quick turnaround. 2 years.
I can't even
I think
imagine
they did
that.
some of the filming.
Don't even, Josh. Every movie does.
I think they did some of the filming while they did the first one.
That makes sense to me.
No, I don't
No?
think they did. No, because because I just know this. Okay, just kidding.
Well,
Okay.
Let me look
I
it
mean,
Source Lex.
source lex.com. But this, you're right, like a very the first movie made a ton of money. It was one of the top 10 highest grossing of the year, but the second film wanted to capitalize on that, on the story, the fact that Peter Parker kind of had the secret of Gwen Stacy's dad He has like a
the
like
promise,
the
yeah.
promise at the end of
Yeah.
that one, and that was kind of like where that character arc is. But the second movie revolves around Green Goblin and the Osborns and Electro,
yeah.
Rhino. I mean, we talked about the MCU stuff. This is like
This
Yeah.
is setting up for the
setting
Sinister
up,
Six.
yeah,
They
pretty
were-
pretty
they were,
time.
They were rushing it
blatantly, and then of course that giant.
Okay, see,
death.
2 years rushing it.
No, okay, you're
No.
making okay. So I found out it started shooting in June 2013. So they weren't shooting like as they were filming the first one.
Oh, okay.
But I
just 6 months
But
later.
they were
From
they were
an
probably planning it.
from an execution standpoint, that's what they rushed, and the story and
yeah, they try to fit an Avengers build up in 2 movies.
yeah.
And that's where their downfall was.
A real BVS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
really.
you know what's funny though? Like it's interesting that they took this approach in the Amazing Spider-Man of like all those villains, right? Where they literally just saw Sam Raimi in the third iteration like
Doing something similar.
have a flaw because of that.
Venom, Sand.
Sandman. Yeah.
Rhino was in it
The-
too.
The new Green Goblin.
Yeah, and like little they Flash Thompson I think was in there's like all these little like
Wait, Flash Tom? Oh, you
yeah,
mean on
he's
the-
an Amazing Spider-Man for the first one.
Yeah, the
like
first
he
one, not
has
the
like a
second
big
one.
thing going on. But Josh, what do you think about the Amazing Spider-Man Part 2?
That's what it was. A big old deuce. Big
Wow.
old dump. No, like Lex pointed out again. I felt super rushed. I didn't like Electro's character design. A lot of it seemed like seeing Jamie Foxx as like some weak, meek like character was weird. Bad hair because everyone knows Jamie Foxx is like a sex symbol. He's a very good-looking man.
Okay, calm down, all right?
Jesus, Josh.
But really, he's a good-looking guy, and seeing him look weird,
Jesus, he's gonna do this for another 10 minutes, I think.
I
Lex.
know.
and then when they turned him into Electro, he's like all blue and like veiny and weird.
I thought you'd like him, Vivani.
And blue.
You just made it sound like
Your favorite
Well, you know
movie
what?
is Watchman, right? Because of Dr. Manhattan's dong.
Big old dong. Yeah, the dong the size of Manhattan.
Oh boy.
But I think the character designs, other than Spider-Man, were lacking. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
everyone, literally every villain character was lacking.
Yeah. And there's so much plot happening in this movie because they are trying to set up Sinister Six, and I felt that weight heavier in this, especially when they're in Oscorp and every computer screen is like you're supposed to be reading
Yeah.
and like they're telling you, or there's computer voices, and you're like, okay, I'm receiving a ton of info right now.
And then there's the parents thing too. Like the movie
Yep.
in both
It's a spy
instances-
movie.
In both instances, the movie opens up with a story about the parents.
Yeah.
Right? So like, yeah, they were just trying to cram up all these elements where it was breaking in and out of the flow of
Yeah.
the story. And then you have the love story, which naturally I think it was one of the upsides, one of the stronger feats, especially with good
It's
chem-
tense
good
because her
chemistry.
dad just like there's this like thing, there's like a Romeo and Juliet going on.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man,
And
when is he going to tell her that her dad said
Well, he
no?
did. No, what?
I know, but like,
in
you
the
know,
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like,
the
just-
ending of the
just
first
say-
one plays into the beginning of this one because she's like, why don't you talk to me?
Just
Yeah.
right before she dies, like, hey, your dad said no.
Boom.
Spoilers,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh wait, some of the people listening haven't seen these movies.
No, just kidding. I
They're
don't
like 30 minutes in. Damn.
know. Well, I was just gonna say like, what was I gonna say?
I don't know what one casting just golden nugget in this movie, even for the short amount of time that he was in it. Paul Giamatti,
Yeah.
loved him as a Rhino. Perfect casting,
Yeah.
No.
dude. Yes, Paul
Well, like-
Giamatti put him in everything for the rest of my life.
Great character actor. Like,
Yeah,
Honestly.
Well, I agree, but like they made him stupid, and like he was.
that's what
was
he.
comical.
Yeah, he
Like,
is.
He's
I
a
know-
gangster.
Dude, have you ever seen like the animated Spider-Man? And
Yes.
Lex, have you
know.
ever
Rhino's
talked to
done.
a real life rhino?
I know-
They're
look,
dumb as
I have
hell.
it on my hoodie right here. Rhino. is
He's
in here.
taking his shirt off. He's
Whoa, dude, you're not wearing anything underneath your hoodie?
Rhino, but I wanted that. I didn't want a robot and fucking.
You wanted a skin tight
just-
rhino costume.
just a gangster. Yeah.
Well, that's
just
what
like,
that's what this movie was like based around. Is like
Yeah, that's a
The-
big
just
part.
the mecha
so
thing.
yeah. With Green Goblin, his whole thing is like a weird new like mech Green Goblin.
It's
Yeah.
so stupid.
But and they kind of maybe this is what the Sinister Six was supposed to be, but a lot of tech mixed with animal stuff. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Because even
Yeah.
Lizard, I guess, was like the scientist who created it, and now Oscorp is full of like vulture, like all these animal
Vulture,
type stuff. A lot of hints at that.
they showed also Doc Ock's arms.
Yeah,
Uh,
another animal.
octopus.
Did y'all know? Speaking about the, well, I guess what I was trying to say is, I mean, they sold that Paul Giamatti as Rhino as like, oh, it's gonna be a big thing, but he was in the movie.
That's
for
true.
like 5 minutes. So
I think the trailers wanted to show you there's
I
a
love
lot.
him as an actor. Don't get me wrong. I would have
Yeah.
liked a fully detailed version of his character and maybe deepen it more. But
That's what we're saying. Is the movie was rushed.
Yeah.
it was
just cramming stuff.
Yeah, you had fucking 4 villains in
Well,
a movie.
here's how indecisive they were for that scene in the Sinister Six. I specifically recall this because I was excited for this movie. I was like looking up the trailers and stuff like that, and I haven't been able to find this. I've only been able to find screenshots of this, but I haven't been able to find the original trailer that I saw. where
Mandela effect.
They showed a TV spot leading up to the movie that showed that scene towards the end of that mysterious man walking and showing all the Sinister Six like
Yeah,
tech. And so they showed in the final version of the movie, they showed the Vulture's wings, they showed Dr. Octopus arms, which they
Mhm.
looked pretty cool. And then they showed Rhino, and then they had to pick a Rhino, right? So in this TV spot I saw, instead of Dr. Octopus arms, it was Venom. It was a symbiote. And it was floating in
I don't
like
believe you.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
I can
recall
pull it.
this.
I watched
You
it
just said you
with
can't
my,
pull it up. You said the
I
only
said
thing you
there's
found was a
screenshots. I can't find
screenshot.
the video. I can show you the
Oh,
screenshot.
fake
I don't believe
news.
It was
yeah.
it was a
Lex,
spear.
please don't use this as a platform to spread your
Propaganda.
It was
stuff.
like the
Venom
symbiote in a
propaganda.
sphere just floating. So like
Yeah.
they once again they didn't even know what they wanted, and so they changed that in the final version of the movie with Doc Ock's arms. And so yeah, so they did not have like a clear vision of what they wanted. But yeah, I think the leaks and everything, it just led to them like saying like we need this now and we want it now. And ultimately it was the downfall of the movie. And I do believe they probably applied a lot of pressure to Marc Webb just the same way that they did to Sam Raimi. So
Yeah,
it was just they repeated the same mistake just twice.
they wanted.
earlier.
Yeah, they shot their load way too early.
Jesus.
Eh?
Where are you?
Jamie
Jamie
Foxx?
Foxx and then shooting loads? Jesus.
No, but really, they jumped the shark, shot their load, whatever you want to call it. Loading this up with villains and rushing things and bad character design. I don't know, how many people that went through, but it seems like not many. I don't think at the time we were into like the gritty, dark characters. If I remember correctly, I think things are a little more whimsical, I guess.
yeah.
And they took like a hard left, and
It got closer to the, it was its own thing, and then it got closer to the Tobey Maguire thing before.
yeah,
Well, it's kind of crazy. Well, this movie we haven't even gotten to the super. Well, you kind of talked about it a little bit, but it's maybe the most emotional Spider-Man movie, including all of Tom Holland's and Tobey Maguire's, because Gwen Stacy does die in this.
Yeah.
He kills her by accident, but so does Norman Osborn. Like, it's a
she
very
dies hard.
How many funerals does he go to at the like? It ends in a
Yeah.
kind of brooding, tough way,
yeah.
and
It shows like that scene where he's spending multiple seasons of the year like
Yeah.
by her.
grieving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and I feel like that's, that's at the end of the movie. It's kind of bookended by some strong emotion, but then the middle is just wild west. But and there's also kind of the the movie was pretty successful, still in the top 10. But it's important to remember, context wise, Marvel was already, Guardians came out this year, Winter Soldier came out this year. Comparatively, it probably didn't do as well as those.
Oh, definitely. I think
So
Guardians
so,
is like up there with like Endgame.
Yeah. Well, like so Drew Goddard was on to direct Sinister Six. They were going to revive Norman Osborn, maybe even Gwen Stacy, do some Carnage stuff. Like there's all this stuff set in place, but I think maybe there's like a giant. This is the last of the non-MCU Spider-Man movies, because after this, the creative control goes to Kevin Feige and the people at Marvel, at least. So it's really interesting that this is kind of I say that, but now we have Venom and Morbius. But Sony, I think this to them was kind of that warning sign that, hey, maybe we should just lean into the MCU, which is making a ton of money
because they figured out the formula.
Yeah, and very successful. And let's pay for the movies, but let them kind of make it. So. It's at least an important movie because of that. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a really quick game. Then we're going to come back and talk about what we think, or maybe just our final thoughts on Andrew Garfield and where we think he fits into No Way Home, because he's, of all of the Spider-Man actors, he's the one that is denying his involvement the most, which means he's in it more.
That's 'cause he's a great actor.
He's a great actor. Tick, tick, boom. All right, so here's what we're going to play. We're going to play a Garfield trivia game.
It's a cat.
Lasagna.
He's orange.
You've won. You both won.
Are like the first three questions.
His owner is Phil. Was it Phil?
No, it was John. John Arbuckle, I think. Oh my God, how do I know his last name? But Josh, don't look at my computer screen. But Josh and Lex, you are going to text me. Yeah, you all have my phone number, right?
Yeah.
You will text me your answers, and I will tally them up. You may have to go down to your Josh. You're for sure going to have to unblock me, and Lex, you're going to have to pay your phone bill.
Can I wait?
Well, if you will stop sending me
unsolicited
campaign messages.
Hey, buddy. That's like how they all start.
I get like 4 a day.
Yeah.
Can I send you to the OnlyFans DM?
Sure, fine. Okay. Yeah, OnlyFans me, and it's going to cost you a token. I don't know how OnlyFans work. I assume there's...
Okay, Manny.
I assume that there's some system.
You pay with NFTs.
So I'm going to ask a question, and you will text me your answer. And if you get it correct, you'll get a point. At the end of this, we will have a nice tally of who wins our Garfield trivia game. You can play at home, but obviously you can't win the prize.
You can still text Manny at...
No, please do not. I get too many texts anyways. All right, here we go. Here's the first question. Andrew Garfield was nominated for an acting Oscar for Hacksaw Ridge, making him only one of 4 actors to be nominated born in the 1980s. Name one of the other actors. So there are 3 other actors who were born in the 80s who have been nominated for an Oscar. You just got to name one of them.
Okay.
So look in your head who looks like they're backwards math 30s and 40s.
Yeah,
they're like
30,
between there.
30s, right?
Nominated. And I was kind of surprised, but it makes sense. I guess there's a lot of older actors who get nominated.
So one of how many?
There's 3. So there's 3 other actors besides Andrew Garfield who have been nominated for an Oscar for acting who were born in the 80s.
Tobey Maguire.
I think
Just
I
kidding.
For Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's kind of crazy, and this is not, while you're guessing, this is not really MCU related, but it's weird to me how many actors have won Oscars for playing the Joker. That's like a comic book character. It's it's very interesting. All right, Lex has sent his answer. Josh?
Wait, you said nominated or win?
Nominated.
Okay.
Yeah, they only need to be nominated. Yeah, because I don't.
Okay.
Dude,
I'm gonna get mad at. Okay, now that I sent you the answer, I'm gonna look it up and see if he's even in the.
That's fine. Yeah, you can do that. But that's kind of messed up. No, don't look it up, Lex.
Why?
Find out live. Find out live.
I guess
we need the reaction.
Okay. Whoa! Oh my God.
I mean, Andrew Garfield. I think he won a Tony already, so he's already close to an EGOT.
He's set for life.
He was in Angels in America, I believe, in like a. And he still does Broadway.
He might get nominated for Tick Tick Boom.
I don't know.
Seen it.
So here is what y'all guess. Josh, you texted Jake G. Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Right? Lex, you guessed Jesse Eisenberg. Lex, you got one. The three other actors, Ryan
Let me see
Gosling.
your Google search.
Here are the names: Ryan Gosling, Jesse Eisenberg, and Eddie Redmayne, who actually won.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Gosling
For theory of
was
everything.
my second choice.
Yeah, Gosling. I
Behind Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx was born in the 70s, dummy.
yeah. A lot
I
of
know, but you're like hot for Jamie Foxx.
Here's
and
the
Ryan
next
Gosling.
question.
Yeah, next
Which canceled director has Andrew Garfield quoted as saying is the most loving he's ever worked with? I don't know if this is
He's
problematic.
So he's canceled.
Yes, I think that helps. Doesn't
yeah,
it? Does it
does.
kind of give you a clue?
It does.
Which
forget
canceled
his name.
director has Andrew Garfield has he said that is the most loving he's ever worked with?
I forget his name.
Well, because for you, Lex, once someone is canceled, they're out of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Can
I look up his name? Because I know.
No, Lex, what the?
Just the name.
Can I just Google it though? No.
There's a typo in mine, but you get it.
Uh,
No, hold on.
He's a director.
Wait, what?
What canceled director? Josh, I'll let you guess again.
Hold on.
Wait, what did you type? Oh,
I haven't sent anything.
Is that too canceled?
well, he's not. You texted someone who's canceled, but he's not a director.
He's not?
No.
What is he? He's just a production
Yeah, he's
company.
just a producer.
Oh,
Josh
producer.
texted Harvey Weinstein, and I think you actually texted me his phone number. I'm just kidding.
my
Yeah.
What's his name? Jesus. I mean, I texted.
Lex. So I'll let you all know.
Wait.
I will say this: he's not. Well, I'm not going to give any more clues
It's
because it's not
it's
fair.
not who I said.
Everyone's so upset.
Saw it.
I know like 10 canceled directors in my head. Maybe it's just because I
I'm one
love
of
their
them.
movies.
Like I'm one of them.
Yeah. But I am going to. So Josh guessed Woody Allen? ? That's a good guess. He's canceled for sure. Lex, you texted director from X-Men and Superman Returns. You're thinking about Bryan Singer.
Yes.
You are wrong. It's Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, who directed Hacksaw
Wait,
Ridge.
is he-
What? He's
yeah.
no, he's not canceled. Everybody.
Yes.
No, I'm
Well,
just
I was
kidding.
gonna
I'm just
say,
kidding.
is he? Because like he's
Yes,
coming
I
yes,
mean,
out-
he
he's
is.
still working, but
he's
yeah.
coming
Yeah,
out in
but-
the-
But also Woody Allen is still working, and so is everyone else.
Yeah. That should be a topic for another day. It's
Okay.
like, why are
I don't know.
canceled
I shouldn't have
directors
asked this
And
question.
why
Kinda-
they shouldn't be canceled.
Here's the next one. Oh no, that's another pod. What? Actually, I bet you if you go alt right, you'd actually gain listeners. I'm not even joking. Your Patreon would be booming right now if you just went the hard switch. Here we go. What fast food chain did Garfield get fired from for sitting around too much? Andrew Garfield, not always that brooding movie star. He worked at a fast food chain and he was fired from this chain for sitting around too much. So that's not actually the sitting around isn't a clue. Like, don't think of places that just have chairs. Wait, everything has a chair. Never mind. No, forget what I just said. Josh texted Woody Allen. I'm kidding. That's an interesting fast food joint.
Wait, no, what I texted is not that.
I could. Do you think that you have ever met someone who's going to be famous at a like fast food place?
I think so.
I think so too. Okay, so Lex texted Subway. Josh texted Starbucks. Josh, you get a point because he got fired from Starbucks. Wow, good guess. Good guess.
Didn't you work at Starbucks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. Did you work at Starbucks?
No.
Josh and I are
S-Bucks gang.
I worked at
S-Bucks baristas.
Little Caesars.
Oh,
Just like
that's
M&M.
Ew. Different.
M&M worked at Little
Yeah, our minimum wage is different than your minimum wage.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. It's the same.
Jesus.
It's not livable.
Did your founder steal ideas from Italy and bring them back to the U.S.?
Oh.
No. Thank you.
Little Caesars, dude.
You're talking about pizza, Caesar?
Oh, God.
All right. What? So what is current Spidey Tom Holland's favorite scene from Garfield Spider-Man movie? So Tom Holland has a favorite scene in Garfield Spider-Man movie.
It's between
It's gonna be
Uncle
hard,
Ben
but-
and Gwen Stacy.
You think he
dying.
just-
It's one of the death scenes.
He's morbid.
Let's see.
Here's another clue. It's one of the scenes that Andrew Garfield asked to be put in the movie because it's something he personally likes to do.
Okay, I think I got it. Oh, wait, is it from the first movie or the second one?
Either of them, but yeah, the first one I guess is the formative one. Yeah.
Oh, I think I got it wrong then.
His favorite is not the credits or
When
the
he
title screen.
when he took off his shirt.
Yeah. Josh texted Starbucks. No.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Again.
Jamie Foxx.
I wouldn't be surprised if.
Um,
No, I'm not going to say anything.
dude, I don't.
It's very specific. There's probably 200 scenes in
Yeah, you know.
the first Amazing Spider-Man, but it's also really neat that these people like Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield are generally supportive of each other. That's not something we talked about kind of currently, but Andrew Garfield was super supportive of Tom Holland. You know, even though people kept asking him, hoping that he would be like, I hate the new Spider-Man, but Andrew Garfield is very supportive of Tom Holland, which is nice. Both British too, huh?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
British.
Why are British people? Wait a minute.
Keep Spider-Man American.
Keep him American. Josh, do you have a guess?
I can't think
It's
of
okay if
anything.
you don't.
Omit me.
Because Lex got it. It's to the
Nice.
skateboarding montage.
Oh, nice.
Andrew Garfield, I guess, skateboards. So that's cool. Okay. Apart from his 2 Spider-Man films, what is Garfield's highest grossing movie? So apart from these 2 movies, Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, what's the highest grossing Andrew Garfield movie? Not known for doing a ton of, big budget movies. He's not in Star Wars or I don't know, Transformers, or I'm thinking of the biggest movies ever.
Yeah.
Pirates. Although I'd like for him to be in Transformers. That'd be cool.
They're doing the
More of them, right?
Between the two.
the animal one. They're doing the.
Think in your head, when did I see Andrew Garfield on the silver screen making a ton of money?
I already guessed it.
Lex has already locked in a guess.
Unless I got it wrong.
But yeah.
Oops.
Josh, you're slacking, bro.
I already sent it, but I just sent it wrong.
Josh guessed Hacksaw Ridge. Lex guessed The Social Network. Lex, you get another point. It's The Social Network.
Yeah, it was between the two.
Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge is a good guess because
I just thought Social Network was kind of a more niche
thing.
but I guess it was bigger than I thought.
It's Facebook.
It's
bro.
Facebook.
The metaverse.
JT,
Yeah, and some would say, I think it might be one of the best movies of the last decade, and it didn't even win any awards really, but it's really good, especially now that you're dealing with meta every day.
Metaverse.
At
There's
what
gonna be a
age?
sequel.
Yeah. At what age did Andrew Garfield, first put on a Spider-Man suit? So at what age did he first put on a Spider-Man
just
suit?
kidding. That's a joke answer.
Mine is a super guess.
I guess we can do Price is Right rules, so closest without going over. Josh sent 69. Well, actually, Josh, you get a point because you got the closest. You guessed 5, and Lex guessed 9, and the correct is 3. He was 3 years old, a little baby boy,
Wow.
when he first tried it.
And that was worth 10 points.
Yep.
No.
Josh, I with a lot of confidence say that you can come back here and get a lot of points because remember the title of this. It's Garfield trivia. What is Garfield's favorite food?
Lasagna.
Gosh, you're kind of giving away.
Well, no, Andrew Garfield's favorite food, Lex.
It's Starbucks.
From the place he was fired. What is Garfield's favorite?
Is there a
food?
hint?
No. The hint is it's pretty obvious.
Spiders.
Lex guessed fish and chips, and Josh guessed lasagna. Garfield loves lasagna. I don't understand.
What?
Yeah.
He's talking about the cat.
No, I know, but he got it right.
Yeah, you got it right. It's lasagna. I don't understand. Lex, do you not know anything about Garfield? It's kind of crazy. Garfield's balloon at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was one of the largest ever, even beating this well-known theme park mascot.
Wait, so are y'all really talking about the cat now?
It's moving. It's called the Garfield Trivia. It's not called Andrew Garfield Trivia.
Oh my god!
And let me say this. Let me say this. It might move again. Interesting.
Okay, so
Garfield's balloon at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was one of the largest ever, even beating this well-known theme park mascot.
What year is this?
I don't know. I don't know. Garfield's balloon at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was one of the largest ever, even beating out this well-known theme park mascot.
I don't think there's a Mickey Mouse one.
Are you thinking out loud? That's
Bold.
Doing your thinking.
Um,
Everyone at home, I'm not sure if everyone knows about this. So Lex guessed Donald Duck. Josh guessed Mickey Mouse. And you're both wrong. It's Shamu, the whale from SeaWorld. Blackfish. Hashtag.
That's not a theme park. That's a scream park.
know.
Oh, no. It's a prison.
Canceled SeaWorld.
The 20th president of the United States, James Garfield, was shot in the back by a disgruntled politician. How many months did it take for him to die of blood poisoning? So, 20th U.S. president, James Garfield, was shot in the back by a disgruntled politician who wanted to be the ambassador of France or something like that. Didn't get it, so he shot him. How many months did it take for him to die of blood poisoning?
Is this like closest answer wins again?
Sure. Yes, let's do it.
he's gonna do 1 month.
$1, Howie. Actually, Josh is the closest. He guessed 2 months. Lex, you guessed 7. The correct answer is 3 months. It took him 3 months to die.
You said months.
I said months.
You thought it was 7 years?
Why did you put 7 months then?
Oh, you said months.
I said
Never
months.
Never mind.
And now we look back, no, it's because his doctors didn't wash their hands.
Wow.
Kind of an unnecessary death.
So it was a bacterial infection and
I
not.
don't know why
it was bad.
I don't know why I
poisoning?
thought of 7.
This is the last question in our Garfield trivia. Josh has 4 points. Lex, you have 3. Like I said,
God, this
Josh,
is BS.
you're coming up the rear. You're really
lasagna
thriving at the
shouldn't
end.
count.
Coming up
I
Millhouse.
legit thought we were talking about Andrew Garfield.
That's on you. I actually, right before it said, just remember the title is Garfield
But
Trivia.
I thought you were playing. Okay.
He even
No.
told you that I said the answer out
That's-
loud.
Yeah,
that's
I said,
fine.
you asked if there was a clue, and I said, no, it's pretty obvious.
I'm a tie.
Final one. Richard Garfield created this popular tabletop card game in 1993 that now has over 35 million players worldwide. Richard Garfield created this popular tabletop card game in 1993 that now has over 35 million players worldwide.
So what?
I don't know if y'all are tabletop card players. It's kind of crazy. I'm
I only
older
know a couple.
than this game, which makes me feel even older. I don't know. This is a very popular game. This is what I'll say. This tabletop game is very popular. Okay, so my phone locked up on
There's
me.
like.
Never mind.
Okay, well,
Can
before
I change my answer?
before-
Lex.
So it's a tabletop.
Lex guessed. No,
Oh,
you
no.
can't change. You're locked
Oh, no.
in. Lex guessed Go Fish, which I don't know if someone invented or just happened. Also, what's with you and fish? You guess fish and chips? You got
Someone-
fish on the mind?
He still thinks it's about the cat.
But you didn't guess Shamu? This doesn't make any sense. You don't make any sense. Josh, you get the point. He guessed Magic, the Gathering, and that is correct. So even if you got lasagna, you would have lost because Josh, you've won 5-3.
Get wrecked.
You got the last.
I got the ones about
right.
Andrew Garfield right.
Yeah.
I know all the other Garfields, okay?
The guy that created Magic, the Gathering.
So, yeah, I mean, you said tabletop games, card games. It's like
It's the only one you knew.
it's like Magic, Pokemon, and
But you knew
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Pokemon was older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
thought Magic the Gathering would have been older than.
I thought so too,
83.
but everyone here is older than Magic. Wait, when were you? No, I don't. Oh, never mind.
I was not.
Oh boy, I was 67 when Magic the Gathering was made. Kind of wild. Well, let's talk before we wrap up this episode. Let's talk about Andrew Garfield, where you think he fits into the lore of Spider-Man, and maybe what you're expecting to see in his reprisal of the role in Far From Home. Josh, I know you didn't like the movies as much.
Yeah, you
We-
could say that.
We know that you're a huge fan of Garfield the cat.
I just wish there was more cat representation in the movies.
Yeah, I guess there is a cat in Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
but that's it. But what do you think about Andrew Garfield? You know, looking back, I guess at the last years, and then what do you think for No Way Home? What for Andrew Garfield?
Well, obviously he said he's not in it, so he's not.
Yep.
We should trust him.
I'm not gonna say that he was the worst, even though he ranks probably last on my list. I mean, that doesn't make sense. But he wasn't bad. He wasn't terrible.
He's not the worst.
It just
but his movies are ass.
Oh my
the bottom of my list ends at like 5, and there's only been 3 Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
so take it easy. No, but enjoyed the first movie a lot. I think it was rated like 7 out of 10, and I think that's rated accordingly.
Yeah.
Which is not bad. It's not a bad rating at all. I watch a 7 movie all day.
I watch 7. What's in the box?
What's in the box? But yeah, I obviously, like I said, enjoyed seeing something new and something fresh. I wish we got it a little bit better, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers. And I'm hoping that the directors see all the hate that they got from
Oh my gosh.
from their movies, and Feige is a genius.
I mean,
so-
it's kind of, you're right. Like this is the critical turning point where we get, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and
Spider-Man
and Spider-Man and Spider-Man. But it's kind of where he joins the MCU is right after this. So
yeah.
maybe it had to happen. Who knows? Are you excited or what? Well, I mean,
No, I'm not excited for the new movie. I'm actually boycotting.
it's kind of weird to say because what do we expect from it? We expect a cameo. That's like right, like we're not gonna get like suddenly a giant Andrew Garfield arc.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll be set around Thanksgiving though, and we will get a Garfield Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah, you got to keep him away from that lasagna. He's gonna send Odie away,
Yeah,
like he always does.
but I'm definitely excited for the new movie, and even though he claims and claims and claims, and I think there was a new claim a week ago, and he was like, "I am not in the movie."
He's in the movie.
He's in the movie.
Yeah.
Explain the lizard being punched in the preview.
And
Changed my mind.
anyways, there's also some verified stuff, like
Leaks.
yeah. There's parts of the movie already online. But Lex, what
Manny has released them.
Sorry. What did you think about Andrew Garfield overall, looking back? And I mean, yeah, where does he fit into your head? You don't have to rank him.
I won't.
And just don't think about the spiders when you think about it.
Yes, think about the man, which honestly is kind of the theme of the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
I like what Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man brought to the table. Like we said, the execution towards the second movie was not the best, but as a Spider-Man, I think he offered a lot of the heart and the darkness of the character to an extent, right? Like the things that he goes
Killing people left and right by accident.
the people he loses in his life, like it all leads up to building on Spider-Man always being the one that comes back from those challenges. So I really enjoyed it. I think looking back, like if we look as actors, if we evaluate them as actors, like despite of the performance that was given, like I think Andrew Garfield delivered what he had to work with. And if we look back at just the actors themselves, Andrew Garfield compared to Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire, he is the best of the three in terms of the body of work and the acting ability. So I think
he's probably going to get an Oscar nom this year for Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah, and maybe for No Way Home as well.
Okay.
But I think
oh shoot, the audience is
I think him getting a second shot at perhaps, even if it's a cameo, just kind of rounding out the character a little bit more. I think he does have a following of people do think he was the best Spider-Man and stuff like that. Once again, like
Garfield stands.
It just, that's the nice thing about Spider-Man, that the three that we've had, it's very subjective, but yeah, he's I have a very I call it nostalgia or whatever. Like I have the Sam Raimi trilogy is very close to my heart. But if I just look at the Spider-Man themselves, I do think that Andrew Garfield's up there as one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if he does come into the Tom Holland verse, he would be the one who I think is the most jaded, the saddest. Like he has gone through so much compared to everyone else.
Well, remember, Tobey Maguire had an emo phase. You don't get more jaded and emotional than
emo. That's true. But I think Andrew Garfield is fantastic, and I think that the whatever gripes we have about his movies are probably closer to the ideas that they tried to do to build a world to really compete in the IP space. Like,
Yeah.
so honestly, it's probably Sony's problem that we're kind of upset about, because he played a really great role. It just kind of got lost in all of the other stuff, and the spy movie that happened to be mixed in there, and then all of the new heroes that they wanted to spin off. But still, I think he's a really good Spider-Man. And honestly, like in terms of off-screen, great actor, but he did like so much like charity during the filming of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he's still kind of, whenever people come up to him, he's not disgruntled by the reaction to the Amazing Spider-Man movies he's in. But yeah, really excited to have him back. Who knows? Maybe they can, like, who knows? We had a Spider-Verse, so he
apparently
can,
you know. Did you get you have the screener playing on your laptop right now?
I've been watching it. But yeah, because I mean, like, it's kind of limitless. I'm kind of surprised now, even in Hawkeye, like the new show, like they really don't care. They're just gonna throw everything at
you know why?
So we could get more. We can get more of Andrew Garfield.
We've had this building up for the past 12 years.
Yeah,
and so they made the MCU so like broad at this point that we can do anything we want, and we can. Oh, not we, but they can. They can take any character and run any story at this point, whether it's on Disney Plus or a movie, and it's going to be enjoyable because they have people backing it who are fans. Jon Favreau, Kevin Feige, like they're fans. They're making this for them also.
Yeah.
So I mean, not to get emotional. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Jamie Foxx is back. Just kidding.
He's so hot. I can't tell you how hot he is.
But yeah, I mean, we have fans creating the content at this point.
I mean, you have fucking Sam Raimi directing a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any more.
And Kevin Feige was a producer in
It's true.
Spider-Man.
He managed all of the
non-fungible tokens.
All right, well, we'll reach the end of this episode. So we talked Tobey Maguire. We've talked Andrew Garfield. Next week, we'll talk about Tom Holland. Not next week, tomorrow. You'll get a nice Tom Holland ep. But Josh, what do you have to plug?
We are back. We are back. That was the intro to our last episode. We sang our rendition of Beauty and the Beast. Not in theaters. We're back with the new season.
Yeah.
And I want to plug everything you're doing, Manny. That's what I want to plug you.
Your OnlyFans.
I want to plug you.
Yo, don't go to my OnlyFans because yesterday, this is to tell you when we recorded this, the Amazon cloud services crashed, and it was mostly because of my subs on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Too many to count. Lex, what do you have to plug?
I mean, same thing. Not in Theaters is back. We have a fresh new episode. I really like what we did with that episode, and we're recording more. So I'm really looking forward to it. We want to get our following back, people, to rely on getting episodes. There's no specific cadence at the moment, but we're going to be producing more and more episodes, and they're going to
be like a surprise every month.
Yeah. If you like James Bond, that was a main topic on our last one. And The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
The Rock verse.
Who is now in Fortnite. So I think we made it happen because they listened to our episode.
Okay, yeah. The Rock is only successful because of
yes.
No one ever knew about him.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's we're back. That's what I wanted to plug. And of course, guys, appreciate Manny being here.
Being here on his podcast.
On his own podcast. No, but just being here to support the Not in Theaters channel. And so anything. I recently was on Revenge of the Sequel. So that's I love being in those.
Must have went to my spam.
It's because we
folder.
It's because we have private sessions, and then we do.
Oh, private sessions. What? That you're talking about is OnlyFans again.
Yeah.
Well, listen to all the Delphin Pod shows, Dirt Sheet Radio, Revenge of the Sequel, Countdown to Infinity, which you're listening to now. So don't have to plug
Count out
that.
to Spider-Verse, please.
Director Showdown, all that extra stuff, and go to patreon.com/DelphinPod if you want to support the pod. There's it's not free, exclusive content there and things before they come out. But Lex, thanks so much for being on the pod. Well, you're the host, so you're contractually obligated to be on it, to give me at least 3 hours.
You're holding me at gunpoint.
But Josh, thanks for being on the pod.
Yeah. Enjoyed it, guys.
Thank you, Josh.
And first time back in the studio.
True.
I don't know if the
live.
dynamic has changed.
We're finally making eye contact with each other.
I don't like
I
it.
think the
We
beef,
finally turned around.
the beef is squashed.
Yeah. Well,
I think it was Jamie Foxx.
so hot.
Brings us together.